I don't know why I cannot do this other way, but if I cannot, I cannot. Hello, hello, hello. I'm trying to fix the view. Can you see me? Is anyone here? Let me see. This is fine, maybe. Oh, I have to use that light so you guys can see my makeup. Okay. Hi, Emily. Yes, this is for you. I was waiting. I was planning to start my live first 5:30. Sorry. And then I could not do it. And 6 p.m. I thought. So now, can you see me clearly? Because I was trying to uh, change the way you see me. Maybe it's coming. I was trying to do the landscape mode, but okay. So whatever, as long as you can see me. So as I told you, this video is for my friend. He wanted to see me in this Scarlet Witch look, so I purchased that one. And let's see what I can do. So I never used this one before. And so if anybody want to purchase it, this is here the thing, and over here it's gonna tell you for the look what you have to do. I didn't get a chance to go over it, but let me first open it. In the meantime, let's listen to the podcast from the YouTube about this witch, Scarlet Witch, the Wanda, her life story, life. So I was listening while preparing. What look should I take? Last time I did the green witch, and this time I want to do something different, and she told me she wants to see me in that look. I said, okay, let's fine. Let's try. Okay. So I opened it. So it comes. Face paint. So last time also I showed last live, that was my first live 2 days before I did it. So that time, oh, thank you, Emily. Thank you so much. So মামুন ভাই লম্বা দেখাচ্ছে, এটাকে কাত করলেই ওটা না চলে আসছে. Hi, hi, hey, hey, Runisa from Turkey. Let me know if I have pronounced your name correctly. Hey, Runisa. Hi. Nice to see your name here. Because it আমি যখনই কাট করছি, I'm trying to do it. I don't know, this view only you can have that my face, and I'm gonna try to make the red and black something, the witch look for the upcoming Halloween. So when I'm trying to do the flat way, okay, I'm glad. Hey, Runisa. Okay, please continue with me. Okay, so I am, any makeup I do, I tell everybody, first clean your face, prepare your face for the makeup, so that makeup looks good, it doesn't look cakey, doesn't, you can see the lines. So now I'm using this cleansing balm from Garnier, Erase It All Makeup Cleansing Balm. So I'm using it just little tiny bit, or you can use wipe something before, because all day I was at work, I didn't have any makeup. You can see my face. I just want to clean little bit massage, and then I'm gonna go to the makeup quick. Like last time, I'm not doing this for long, I mean very long video, but in the meantime, let me start listening the podcast. You guys maybe gonna enjoy it. If you don't want to listen the story of Wanda, then let me know. I'm gonna keep talking. Okay, let me.
an extremely powerful and rare form of magic. Her powers were too weak, however, and were doomed to diminish over time. And we'll get back to her magic later in the video. Wanda grew up in a small but cozy home in Sokovia, and she was part of a very loving family. During her childhood, Wanda and her family would practice speaking English by watching American movies and TV shows, and whenever it was Wanda's turn to pick, she would always pick old sitcoms. One night when a 10-year-old Wanda picked The Dick Van Dyke Show, her brother Pedro jokingly called her out.
Dick Van Dyke again? Always sitcom, sitcom, sitcom.
As they were watching, Wanda looked back at her mother, who blew her a kiss, and little did Wanda know, that was the last interaction she would have with her mother. The place exploded, killing their parents instantly. Wanda got up and heard a war brewing just outside the wreckage they were in. As she and Pedro hid, a Stark Industries bomb landed right next to them about to blow, but Wanda unknowingly used her magic to stop it from blowing up. At the time though, the twins merely thought it was a defective bomb, and that's why it didn't go off. Wanda saw the TV still playing, and she wished that this was all a bad dream and none of it was real like in the sitcom, but it was real. They were trapped in the wreckage for 2 days before somebody finally found them, and the whole time they were trapped, they were just waiting for the bomb to go off. Or how Wanda put it, we're waiting for Tony Stark to kill them.
We wait for 2 days for Tony Stark to kill us.
However, in those 2 days, the bomb never went off, and it was later speculated that they were able to stay safe from not just the bomb, but all of the gunfire and war going on outside because of Wanda's magic. The Maximoff twins were admitted into a Sokovian orphanage, both of them remembering the Stark Industries bomb that came down on their home. They blamed the US, but more importantly, Tony Stark for their parents' death. They dedicated their lives to fighting Tony, the United States, and eventually the Avengers. They went to organize protests to fight Stark in the US, and their involvement in this put them on both S.H.I.E.L.D.'s and Hydra's radar as potential threats or allies. What the twins did not realize was that the various riots and protests were orchestrated by Hydra. During one specific protest, a man who worked for Hydra told the protesters that he could provide them the tools they needed to stand up to their oppressors and get the war out of their country. Wanda initially called him a liar, but the man said that he would show them, giving them a chance for a greater future. All he required from them was their consent, and the twins agreed.
You cannot watch anything. Everywhere ads.
I care about what touches my family's skin. It's why I choose all free clear.
When later asked about joining an anti-freedom terrorist organization,
Wanda
said that she and her brother just wanted to change the world.
Your reaction to the bombing of your civilian apartment building and the murder of your parents
I wet my sponge.
was to join an anti-freedom terrorist organization.
We wanted to
And then I'm gonna put a little bit of
They
water
were taken to
here.
a lab where a scientist named List was using the scepter, which had the Mind Stone inside of it, one of the Infinity Stones. He told Wanda and Pietro that them being twins would make the test even more valuable, and he said that this opened the door to the two of them unlocking all
Before
sorts
that,
of
I
unknown
had to use a little bit
abilities.
primer.
Wanda was a bit hesitant though, and she asked Pietro if he was sure they should do this, but Pietro told her to be strong, as it wouldn't be long until they had the power that they needed to fight. They both underwent experiments where they were exposed to the scepter and the Mind Stone, and so far, not one subject had survived direct contact with them. When Wanda went before it, a weird phenomenon went on. The Mind Stone let loose a ton of energy, and as Wanda looked directly at it, she saw the form of the Scarlet Witch that she was destined to become. She was then shot to the ground. However, all that the men watching, as well as what the camera saw, was her standing up 1 minute and then lying on the ground the next. They ran to make sure she was okay, and realizing she was alive, they got her to isolation immediately. Going back to the magic that Wanda was born with, as I said, the magic in her was weak, and it was inevitable that her magic would diminish. But the Mind Stone amplified her power, and what would have died on the vine was given a huge boost, unlocking her chaos magic and fulfilling the myth of the Scarlet Witch. Wanda was now one of the most powerful beings on Earth, and she had no idea. Wanda was locked in isolation, having just a single TV in her room, and on it, she watched sitcoms, the thing that reminded her of her childhood and was something that comforted her. She later found out that Pedro had gotten powers as well, having super speed, and Hydra planned to use the two of them as weapons, as everyone else that they experimented on died. The Avengers later arrived at the facility, going after the scepter, and as the twins stood with each other, they heard the Hydra men debating on whether or not to send them out there. but ultimately they
Leave it
decided
dry.
against it. However, after hearing that Tony Stark was out there, the man who was tied to the bombing that killed their parents, they took matters into their own hands. Using their new powers,
It's a little
they
bit
went
dry.
after
You
the
have to have
Avengers.
a little bit dry.
Wanda first took Captain America down with her magic, and she then went after Stark. She used her magic to make Tony see dark visions. And upon seeing his true fears, Wanda allowed Stark and the Avengers to make off with the scepter, despite her brother's protests.
I'm just gonna let them take it.
Her hope being that Stark's tampering with the alien weapon would lead to his own self-destruction. With the Hydra research base shut down by the Avengers, the twins headed back to their home in Sokovia, and Pedro provided for them by using his speed to steal. One night, Wanda found Pedro handing out items he had stolen, including an expensive dress to a woman, and she mocked her brother's attempts to flirt. She then warned him that he would get shot if he kept stealing.
You keep stealing, you're going to get shot. I mean it.
Pedro then called her out for not taking Stark down when they had the chance.
We had Stark helpless.
They were interrupted, however, when a boy approached them and told them that an Iron Man was waiting for the two of them in a church. When they went to the church, they found a mysterious man with a red cloak, and Wanda tried to use her powers to look inside his head, but realized that she couldn't. She realized why when he stood up and revealed himself to be Ultron, an AI created accidentally by Tony Stark. He told Wanda that he had come to save the world and also to defeat the Avengers, and the twins became very intrigued.
Look at the
Ultron led them
transformation.
back to the Hydra research base, and there, Ultron revealed the army he was building. After they told Ultron about the night their parents died and the 2 days that they were trapped, all thanks to the Stark Industries bomb, Ultron said that this is why they survived, so they could make it right. Himself and Pedro would hurt the Avengers, and Wanda would use her powers to tear them apart from the inside. With their new alliance, the twins and Ultron went after a huge supply of vibranium from a man named Claw. Wanda used her
This
powers
is
to
from
ensure
Cover
Ultron
Girl.
wasn't shot by Claw's men, and she witnessed Ultron cutting Claw's arm off. The Avengers then arrived, and Captain America gave the twins a chance to walk away from this.
You two can still walk away from this.
No, we will.
I know you've suffered.
But a fight broke out, and Ultron instructed Wanda to play some mind games. She used her powers to incapacitate Thor, Captain America, and Black Widow, showing them all dark visions of their biggest insecurities and fears. However, when she tried this with Hawkeye, he put an arrow in her head that electrocuted her. As she began to pass out, her brother knocked Hawkeye down, caught Wanda, and took her to safety. Wanda was in serious pain, but she fought it off and sought revenge by going after Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk.
I want to finish the plan. I want the big one.
She used her powers on him and sent him on a rampage. In the confusion, the twins escaped with Ultron and the vibranium. They used the vibranium to make the ultimate body for Ultron, and they powered it with the Mind Stone from the Scepter, the very thing that gave Wanda and her brother their powers. When Wanda arrived, she realized that she could read the mind of the new body they were making.
I can read him.
T20 from Cover Girl.
He's dreaming.
However, Wanda then saw what Ultron planned to do, destroying the world, and it physically hurt her. Pedro made sure she was okay, and Wanda called Ultron out, saying that he was a madman. Realizing that Ultron had to be stopped, Wanda used her powers to wake Dr. Helen Cho from the trance Ultron
Just
and put
to
her
give
under,
extra
and
moisture.
Dr. Cho stopped the vibranium body from completing. Meanwhile, Wanda and Pedro left, and when they saw that the Avengers were trying to stop Ultron, they ran in to help. When they cornered Ultron, he
Under
told them
eye
not to do
something?
this, but Wanda asked them what choice they had. After Ultron escaped, Wanda used her powers to stop the runaway train, saving hundreds of lives. Afterwards, Captain America approached the twins, and when Wanda was told that the
This is
vibranium body
primer.
was in the hands
Eye
of
primer.
Stark, she told Steve that Tony would not do the right thing.
Ultron can't tell the difference between saving the world and destroying it. Where do you think he gets that?
The three of them went to confront Stark, telling him to shut it down, and a fight broke out. Bruce Banner put Wanda in a chokehold, egging her on to piss him off so he could choke her to death in his Hulk form. Wanda easily took him down, however, but before she could do anything, Thor used his lightning to bring the body alive, and Vision was born. Little did Wanda know, her life would be tied to this being in the most emotional way possible. Wanda approached Vision and said that she had looked in his head and saw annihilation, but he told her to look again. Realizing that they had been wrong about siding with Ultron, Wanda and Pedro suited up to fight alongside the Avengers. The twins took it upon themselves to evacuate Sokovia, their home. Wanda used her powers to influence everybody to leave, just a small glimpse of the powers she would later harness in WandaVision. When Ultron's army arrived, Wanda sprang into action to protect her people, but was shot down to the ground as she did so. Wanda was visibly scared as Ultron spoke to them and lifted the city in the air, and when she and Hawkeye were outnumbered, they ran to safety. There, she said that this was her fault, but Hawkeye gave her a speech saying that that didn't matter, and he gave her a choice to fight or to sit back and do nothing.
Doesn't matter what you did or where you were. Staying here, you're good. I'll send your brother to come find you, but if you step out that door, you are an Avenger.
Wanda took on a role as an Avenger when she went out and started taking down Ultron's army. Wanda and Pedro later met up and assured each other that they were both alright. The Avengers, now including Wanda and Pedro, took Ultron and a good chunk of his army down. Wanda then volunteered to guard the core while everybody else evacuated.
I'll protect it. It's my job.
Pedro then came and Wanda told him to help evacuate.
I'm not going to leave you.
I can handle these.
She told him to come back for her when everybody was off the flying city, and the two then joked around before they said goodbye to each other. And little did Wanda know, that was the last interaction that she would have with her brother, much like the last interaction she had with her mother. Pedro was shot and killed, saving a little boy and Hawkeye, and Wanda was overcome with grief and anger. As she screamed and fell to her knees, her true power came out, destroying all the robots around her. Pedro was the last of her family that she had left, and now she felt all alone. The only thing she could think to do was to go after Ultron, the man responsible for all of this. She found his mangled body, and Ultron was confused when he saw her, saying that she would die if she stayed there, and she responded saying,
I just did. Do you know how it felt?
and she used her powers to pull his robotic heart out.
It felt like that.
Her action, however, inadvertently allowed a single Ultron drone to activate the device, sending the city plummeting to the ground. Wanda was ready to die right there, thinking she had nothing else to live for. But as the city fell, Vision came to her rescue, pulling her out just in time. And that was the start of the next chapter in her life. Her life with Vision.
Well, the gang's all here.
Let's hit
Again,
the
ad.
It's the Disney Plus blockbuster offer.
That's right.
Only in a month for 3 months of Disney Plus.
That's a great idea.
Get the hottest shows. Blazing biggest movies.
After proving herself, Wanda was recruited as a permanent member of the Avengers roster alongside Vision, War Machine, and Falcon. In the new Avengers facility, they began their training under the leadership of Captain America and Black Widow. Wanda was still grieving the death of her brother, and being in a new country, she felt very alone. One day while sitting in a room at the facility, she was watching a sitcom as she always did for comfort, and Vision walked in. Wanda invited him to sit down with her, and they watched the sitcom together, Wanda breaking down her barriers and bringing Vision into something very personal for her. Vision then told her that he was there to bring her comfort if she wanted it, but Wanda responded saying that the only thing that would bring her comfort was seeing her brother again. Realizing she was a bit harsh though, she apologized, and she then opened up to Vision. She explained her never-ending pain, losing her parents and now her brother, saying it was going to drown her. Vision responded saying that grief was actually love persevering, and the two then shared a laugh about the sitcom. After sharing that little moment, the two looked into each other's eyes, and all they saw was each other's future. The Avengers facility became their first home together, and they grew closer and closer as time went on. Natasha Romanoff noticed that Wanda was acclimating to the culture of the facility just fine with all things considered. She said that Wanda hadn't been as withdrawn as she was when she first got there, probably in large part to Vision, but Romanoff said she was still processing the death of her brother. Romanoff then said that Wanda could use more guidance with regards to her reconnaissance, which was to be expected. She added that she was pushing the limits of her telekinesis, and though she couldn't move mountains with it yet, with time, she might surprise herself and Steve Rogers. Wanda and the new incarnation of the Avengers trained hard and went on missions, proving their worth. For their first big mission, they discovered that Hydra had obtained pieces of Ultron sentries and had built a huge robot called Ultimo. They all sprang into action, Vision holding Wanda up as they entered the battle. Wanda told Ultimo that he had chosen a face she did not care for, as it was similar to Ultron's face, who was of course responsible for the death of Pedro. Ultimately, the battle came down to Wanda using her powers to make the robot blow up. As they all stood on Ultimo's head, Captain America said that he had all the confidence in the world that the new incarnation of the Avengers was a great team. About a year after the team had formed, the new Avengers went on a mission to track down Crossbones and his mercenaries, and Wanda disguised herself at a cafe waiting for her cue to join the fight. When Wanda joined the fight, she worked with the team perfectly, and even sent Cap flying into a building, something they had practiced many times. Everything was going great until Crossbones blew himself up, and Wanda used her powers to contain him. She tried to throw him into the air to get him out of harm's way, but she lost control when he was next to a building, blowing up the upper floors and killing loads of people. She was horrified at what she had just done, and later, as Wanda cried, Natasha Romanoff held her and comforted her. Afterwards, Wanda watched the news coverage of the disaster, but Steve turned it off. Wanda said it was her fault, but Steve said he was at fault as well, and the two had a heart-to-heart about how hard their job was. Vision then walked in through the wall, and Wanda told him how they had talked about boundaries and how he couldn't just walk into any room like that. After her talk with Steve, the two went to a meeting where it was proposed that the Avengers were dangerous and had to be overseen with the Sokovia Accords. When they showed footage of what Wanda had done, Steve saw what was upsetting her and demanded they turn it off.
Okay, that's enough.
After the meeting, Wanda walked in on Vision cooking a meal, something that he had hoped would lift Wanda's spirits, and she was very touched.
Spirits lifted.
Vision then told her that everybody liked Wanda because they were afraid of her, and when she asked if Vision was afraid of her, he said no, something that stuck with Wanda, as Vision might be the only person that didn't see her the way the rest of the world saw her. Wanda then said that though her powers didn't change who she thought she was, after she got them, everybody else saw her differently, as if she were more dangerous, and it was starting to affect her. Vision comforted her and said that he felt the same way at times with the Mind Stone in his head. Wanda then tried to leave, and when Vision didn't let her, she realized that Vision had been instructed to keep her there, and she was deeply hurt. However, when she asked Vision what he wanted, he said that he wanted people to see her the way he did, and Wanda realized it was actually hurting him to keep her there. The Sokovia Accords eventually made the Avengers split into two sides, Captain America's side, who disagreed with the Accords, and Iron Man's side, who agreed with them. And Wanda joined Captain America's side when Hawkeye came to rescue her from being held captive by Vision. And though it was hard for her, she was forced to hurt Vision to get away. Things got heated fast, and the two sides fought each other in a huge battle. Wanda used her powers to send cars flying at Tony, and later on in the fight, she took Romanoff down. At the end of the fight, Wanda ensured that Cap and Bucky got away by holding up a tower that Vision had knocked down. She was then hit with a sonic cannon that knocked her to the ground. Vision ensured that Wanda was okay afterwards, and they both apologized to each other.
I'm sorry.
Me too.
Wanda was captured alongside the other Avengers that picked Captain America's side, with Hawkeye, Falcon, and Ant-Man. And Wanda was the only one outfitted with a shock collar and who was put in a straitjacket to prevent her from using her powers. Captain America eventually broke in to save them all, and when he entered, Wanda said, "Finally." After the rescue, they asked Wanda where she wanted to be dropped off, and she told them that she wanted to meet an old friend, that friend being Vision. Wanda and Vision met up and went off on their own. Vision took a human form, and the two spent many days and nights together, just focusing on themselves and their relationship. However, they both had responsibilities, as Wanda was still fighting alongside Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon, as they were all to keep a low profile while on the run. Meanwhile, Vision was going back and forth from the Avengers facility, but the two made it work. During her time on the run, Romanoff, who was arguably one of the best spies in the world, taught Wanda strategies to hide in plain sight, and this included masking her thick accent and making it an American one instead, which is why her accent disappeared, which I know had a lot of people confused when WandaVision came out. One night while in Scotland, Wanda got worried when the Mind Stone was speaking to Vision, and she used her powers to feel what it was saying.
Tell me what you feel.
I just feel you.
The two kissed each other passionately, so happy to be alone, just the two of them. The couple then decided to take a walk through the streets together, and Vision proposed the idea of him not going back to the Avengers facility.
What if this time I didn't go back?
You gave Stark your word.
I'd rather give it to you.
The two then agreed that the past 2 years had been amazing, and it was clear that the two of them were perfect together. However, just then, they were attacked, Vision being stabbed in the back and Wanda being blasted aside. Wanda got up and blasted them away from Vision, but quickly they were outmatched. After the two had been slammed down, Wanda tried to pick Vision up, saying they had to go, but he was too injured. As they looked into each other's eyes, Vision begged her to go, but she refused.
Please stay.
You asked me to stay. I'm staying.
Wanda was ready to fight to protect herself and the injured Vision, but luckily she didn't have to, as Captain America, Falcon, and Black Widow came to their rescue. Afterwards, Black Widow immediately lectured Wanda about not keeping in contact and keeping a low profile, and Wanda apologized.
I'm sorry. We just wanted time.
They all went to the Avengers facility, and there they discussed the Mind Stone that was in Vision's head that they all knew Thanos was after. Vision said that they had to destroy it, and Wanda immediately protested, not wanting to lose the love of her life.
That's too high a price.
When they came up with a plan to remove the stone and still keep Vision intact, Wanda was very hopeful, and they all went to Wakanda to make that happen. When they got there, Wanda asked Shuri if she could do it, and she said yes, but that it would take time. This made them all realize they had to fight to give Shuri the time she needed. While everyone went out to fight, Wanda stayed with Shuri and Vision to ensure their safety. However, when she saw they were about to lose, she went out and saved everybody's neck, showing her true power.
Why was she up there all this time?
Wanda not being up there with Vision and Shuri, however, led to them being attacked. Wanda was about to go save Vision, but she was knocked to the ground and was about to be beaten. But Nakia and Black Widow came to her aid, and after a long fight, Wanda used her powers to throw her in front of one of the weapons, and she was killed instantly. Thanos eventually arrived to the battle for the Mind Stone, and he threw everybody aside with ease, making Vision realize it was over. He begged Wanda to destroy the stone, but she told him that she couldn't do it. Vision persuaded her though, and Wanda cried as she killed the man she loved, the man that gave her everything when she was in the darkest place in her life. She had to look him in the eyes, knowing that this was the only way. And right before Vision's life ended, he told Wanda that he loved her. As Wanda lay on the ground, Thanos told her that he understood her pain better than anybody, and she replied saying that he could never. Thanos then used the Time Stone to reverse time, undoing what Wanda had just done, and she was forced to watch Vision die a second time, this time in a very painful and brutal way. Thanos, now having all of the stones, snapped his fingers, wiping out half the universe, including Wanda, who vaporized as she sat next to Vision's lifeless body. Wanda was gone for 5 years, but after the remaining Avengers used the Infinity Stones to undo what Thanos had done, she and everybody else that was killed came back for one final fight against Thanos. When she came face to face with the man that took Vision from her, she said,
You took everything from me.
I don't even know who you are.
You will.
She fought him one-on-one and was winning, taking apart his armor. But Thanos ordered his ships to rain fire, and Wanda was thrown back. She later got up, and when Peter Parker was in trouble, Wanda, along with all of the other badass females, came to his aid. Wanda and the other women worked together and brought down entire ships. The battle was won after Iron Man laid down his life, and Wanda and everybody else watched on in great sadness, taking a knee for a fallen warrior.
Shop Etsy for original items made by real people.
At Progressive, we don't believe in a cookie-cutter approach to career growth and development. The roles within our wall.
Wanda went to Tony's funeral and paid her respects alongside all of the other Avengers. And afterwards, she and Clint had a heart-to-heart, both having lost people close to them, Vision and Natasha. Wanda said that even though they weren't here anymore, they knew that the battle they fought for was won. Clint and Wanda then held each other close, comforting each other in their time of grief. Wanda wanted to give Vision a proper burial, so she went to the facility that was holding his body. She demanded to see him, and when she did, she saw that they were taking his body apart.
Vision's not a weapon. You can't do this.
She was furious and said that he deserved a proper burial.
He's all I have.
As she watched, tears pouring down her face, she broke the glass and went down to him. And when she tried to feel him, like she had so many times before when he was still alive, she realized that he wasn't there anymore.
I can't feel you.
She then went to visit the town Westview, the place where Vision had bought property to build their home and their new life together. Reading what Vision had written on the blueprints, and sitting in the middle of what would have been their future, she became overwhelmed with grief. Her chaos magic was unleashed, creating a new reality around her, transforming the entire town of Westview into a 1950s sitcom. Sitcoms, of course, being the thing that always gave her comfort from when she was a little girl. She created the house that was meant for herself and Vision, and she even created a new Vision, harnessing the Mind Stone that was inside of her to do so, the very thing that brought out her powers. Wanda held the people in the town captive, made herself and Vision newlyweds, and at this point had no idea what she had done. They lived a sitcom life in the 1950s. Their neighbor Agnes was always around to help them, and eventually as time went on, the show turned into a different decade for each episode of the sitcom. As time went on, Wanda also started to realize what she had done, but she enjoyed this life and did not want it to disappear, so she went along with it. During the 1950s era, Wanda and Vision enjoyed their time together, being a normal newlywed couple very much in love. Then it transformed into the 1970s, and during this, Wanda became pregnant with twin boys. Wanda and Vision prepared to have kids together, making their bond even stronger. And not long after becoming pregnant, Wanda gave birth with the help of their neighbor Geraldine and their doctor. Wanda and Vision named their twin boys Tommy and Billy. Wanda spoke to Geraldine afterwards, and she brought up her brother Pedro. Geraldine responded, mentioning how he was killed by Ultron, and Wanda began to cry. Wanda questioned Geraldine, and realizing that Geraldine was trespassing in her reality, Wanda sent her flying back and out of the bubble that she had put over Westview. She fixed everything right before Vision entered, and acted as though nothing had happened.
Where's Geraldine?
Oh, she left, honey. She had to rush home.
When Wanda turned around to look at her husband, she was horrified to see the dead Vision with the Mind Stone pulled out of his head. She was deeply shaken, but when she looked back at him, he was back to normal. When Wanda turned Westview into a 1980s sitcom, Agnes looked at Wanda in front of Vision, asking if she wanted to redo the take.
Do you want me to take that again?
Something that made Vision very confused and skeptical as to what was going on. Tommy and Billy then grew a couple years in the span of a second, and later, Agnes encouraged the boys when they got a dog. Tommy and Billy then got even older, and as time went on, the boys started to question their mother and this reality.
It's Saturday.
No, it's not. It's Monday.
This morning was Saturday.
They were interrupted, however, when a military craft pulled up to their house. Wanda became furious and used her powers to take it down. She dragged the aircraft outside of the hex, and even with loads of guns pointed at her, she threatened them.
This will be your only warning.
When Wanda saw Geraldine, who in the real world was Monica, Monica said that she could help her get what she wanted, and Wanda responded saying,
I have what I want. And no one will ever take it from me again.
She then used her powers to make all the guns that were pointed at her pointed at Hayward, the director of the unit, and she walked back into her Westview bubble. She returned to her family life inside of Westview, but that night, Vision questioned her on what was going on with some anger in his tone.
You can't control me the way you do them.
The two then got into a fight, and both raised themselves in the air.
What is outside of Westview?
You don't want to know, I promise you.
You don't get to make that choice for me, Wanda.
Their argument was interrupted, however, when the doorbell rang, and Wanda's brother was at the door. However, it was not her real brother. It was not the Pedro she knew. She accepted him anyway, though, and hugged him. The sitcom turned into a late 1990s to early 2000s show, and Wanda was very suspicious of her brother. Vision told Wanda that he was not going to go trick-or-treating with them, as secretly, he planned to do some investigating. Wanda instead brought her brother along, and she tested Pedro.
You're testing me?
While they were out, Tommy and Billy both got powers, Tommy having super speed, and Billy getting telepathy powers. Later, when Wanda was talking with her brother, she was horrified to look up and see the bullet holes where her real brother had been shot just before he died, just like she had seen the dead Vision. And again, Wanda was very shaken, but when she looked back, he was back to normal. Just then, Billy came running, frantically saying that he could feel his father in trouble thanks to his new powers, and this made Pietro mention Vision dying before.
Hey, don't sweat it, sis. It's not like your dead husband could die twice.
Which made Wanda send him flying backwards. To stop Vision from leaving Westview, Wanda extended the barrier, pulling Vision back in, and now having even more land and people under her control. When the sitcom in Westview turned into a modern-day sitcom, Wanda began to have a bit of a mental breakdown. Agnes helped her by taking the boys for the day, and Wanda was very grateful. Wanda then had trouble keeping her reality the way she wanted, things changing back and forth from all different decades. Monica then burst into Wanda's home, and Wanda threw her back and tried to slam her to the ground, but Monica, having acquired new abilities, landed on her feet, something that took Wanda aback. As Monica was trying to get Wanda to free Westview and the people inside of it, Agnes intervened and took Wanda out of the situation. Wanda then learned the terrible truth that Agnes had magic as well, being a witch from many centuries ago, her real name being Agatha Harkness.
Lovely to finally meet you, dear.
It became clear that Agatha had been controlling all sorts of things in Wanda's reality, including Pietro arriving, her seeing the dead Vision, and the bullet holes in her brother, and it was all Agatha behind the camera. Agatha was desperately trying to figure out how Wanda created the hex around Westview, as it was power unlike anything she had seen before. Agatha was desperate for Wanda's powers, and she forced Wanda to go through her past so they could discover how she acquired them, and also to test Agatha's theory of Wanda being the Scarlet Witch. Though Wanda refused to dive into her past initially, when her kids were threatened, she agreed. They went through her parents' death, her being exposed to the Mind Stone, her time with Vision at the Avengers facility, her going after Vision's body, and finally, her creating the Westview reality. After seeing all of this, Agatha now knew for sure that Wanda was the Scarlet Witch.
This is chaos magic, Wanda. That makes you the Scarlet Witch.
With Agatha holding her kids hostage, Wanda took her down with a car and she told her kids to leave. Wanda then saw the spectral Vision arrive, the rebuilt Vision whose body was reactivated by Sword, and she went up to him only to have him grab her and try to kill her. But the Vision she had made in Westview came to her rescue. Wanda apologized to Vision.
I should have told you everything. The moment I realized what I had done.
It's all right, Wanda.
But she said that she could fix it. The two decided to fight together.
This is our home.
Then let's fight for it.
Wanda fought Agatha, while Vision fought the spectral Vision. During her fight with Agatha, Agatha read from the Book of Sins and explained the origins of the Scarlet Witch.
The Scarlet Witch is not born, she is forged. She has no coven, no need for incantation.
When Wanda said she wasn't a witch, Agatha became frustrated and released everyone in town from Wanda's control, and they all converged on her. Wanda, being overwhelmed, began to choke all of them, but realizing what she was doing, she let them go, and she then realized how much she had affected these people.
If you won't let us go, just let us die.
She began to free Westview, but in the process, she realized she would lose her family, as Vision and the twins were disintegrating. She could not stand to lose them, so she closed Westview back up to save them. The family was then surrounded by Agatha, the Spectral Vision, and now Sword, who had breached the hex when it was open. Wanda told her sons to deal with the soldiers as she continued to fight Agatha, now utilizing and embracing her magic. Using her mental manipulation powers, Wanda confronted Agatha at the scene of her trial from many centuries ago, but it soon backfired, Agatha once again asking for her powers, promising to fix her pain.
Give me your power, and you and your family can all live together in peace.
But Wanda refused and fought back. The showdown then took to the sky, and when Vision tried to help, Wanda held him back. During the fight, Wanda pretended to give Agatha what she wanted, but secretly began casting runes around the walls of the hex to neutralize her enemy's magic. Having appeared to have all of her magic stolen, Wanda floated in the sky with her entire body drained. Agatha went to finish Wanda off, but nothing happened. Wanda stopped her deception and reclaimed her magic, and she finally took the form of the Scarlet Witch, the thing she had been destined to do for so many years. Returning to the ground, Agatha asked what would become of her, and Wanda revealed that she was going to be trapped inside her former role as the nosy neighbor. But before she did, Agatha said that she had no idea what she had unleashed, and said that Wanda would need her.
If I do, I know where to find you.
Wait.
After turning Agatha into Agnes, Wanda reunited with her family, but unfortunately, she knew this was the end for them. Wanda began to take down the hex around the town, and she said goodbye to her boys for the last time.
Thanks for choosing me to be your mom.
She then had her final moment with Vision, and she told him that he was a memory from her head, powered by the piece of the Mind Stone that lived inside of her. She told him that he was her love, and said that they would see each other again.
We'll say hello again.
The boys, Vision, and the home went away, and as they did, Vision said,
So long, darling.
and Wanda was all alone again, losing Vision right in front of her for the third time. As she walked through Westview, all of the people that she had controlled glared at her, and talking to Monica said that they would never know what she sacrificed, giving up her family to free them. Wanda said that she was sorry for all the pain she caused, and said she did not understand her powers, but that soon she would. When the authorities arrived, Wanda flew away and said goodbye to Westview. Wanda secluded herself and moved into a cabin in the mountains, and there she learned more about herself and the power that she possessed. Becoming better with her abilities, Wanda found herself being able to coexist in two forms, one being Wanda, who was living normally, while her other form, the Scarlet Witch, read the Darkhold, or the Book of Sins, the thing that Agatha had read to her when explaining the Scarlet Witch, and Wanda now used the book to increase her power and knowledge. One day while reading the book, Wanda heard the cries of her children calling for help. And that is the entire timeline of Wanda Maximoff so far. She has faced so much pain and suffering, losing her mother and father, then her brother, then Vision, not once, not twice, but 3 different times. And on top of that, losing her 2 boys as well, although they might be coming back after that last scene. I'm excited to see what they do with her character moving forward, because now that she's officially the Scarlet Witch, it's time to finally see some great stories that show off her true power. Thank you so much for watching, guys. You can follow me on social media to see more of my personal life and more of the...
It's done. I was listening to a podcast about the witch, the Wanda, Scarlet Witch. Let's see. It's almost done. So this is from Maybelline. I got it today because I wanted to get this look because of my friend Emily. And this is Wet n Wild. So now I'm going to remove this. Okay. I'm going to use a little bit of white here. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of black to make it gloomy look. This whole palette is amazing. You don't need to get anything else. I'm just using my own sponge because it's comfortable. I'm comfortable with this sponge. My baby here. Thank you, Emily. I'm trying. I'm beauty consultant. Now I become a makeup artist. Because when you like something, you always try to do something so that you enjoy. Because what you enjoy, you like to do more. That's why. Okay. And now I'm gonna do a little bit of red there. It doesn't look good without covering this side. So little tiny, yes, it looks better. Okay. A little bit of white. So I didn't spend a lot of money. The thing is, if you want to get this look, this one thing only $10. You can get it any retail store, maybe $10, $11, not more than that. It has everything what you need. Only I have purchased this black stick. You can use that black color also with the brush, but I felt that that's why I purchased that one. Then this will be very handy. This is from Maybelline. And another white I am using from Wet n Wild. So these two things, one black pen, one white pen. And everything in front of your, I didn't use anything else. The skincare, before I started doing the makeup, I use the skincare. That's every day you have to do it. So this is nothing you have to purchase for this specific look. So let me now finish with the red lip. I'm so glad, Emily, you are, uh, yes, thank you, Mahmood. You're watching it? This is from Rimmel, and the number is 580. Rimmel pencil. Another lipstick from Maybelline. It's also last for a long time. Matte. It's so smooth. Look, one stroke. That's it. Highly pigmented. Let's say I'm gonna use the setting spray again. This is cherry setting spray from Milani. Make it last. If you want to set it with the powder, you can do it. You just set it with the powder. You can use lashes. I'm not using lashes because this is just a tutorial video. You can add more thing in it. You can change it. You don't need to keep the same way I'm doing it. I had the concept from Emily, just Sanjukta, I want to look at you. I mean, you want to, in that, I want to see you, and in that look, that's why I'm trying to do something. But at the same time, I am doing something like if whatever I feel like to do. I mean, this is the main thing of the beauty. Whatever your heart says you want to do it, you can do it. You're free. This is your world. This is your world. So I'm gonna use a little bit of mascara though today, but not using. Let me see where I have. I'm gonna use number 7 mascara. It's a lash extender fiber. You can use primer before mascara. Primer really help. I'm gonna use a little bit of highlighter. I'm feeling the. Okay. So that is from number 7. Now a little bit of highlighter. Same highlighter last time I used. I had used the Wet n Wild, so same I'm using now. That fan brush. So it's really a little bit on my you don't see. Okay. Now, so I'm almost done. Almost done. Let's see. Now I'm gonna spray it a little bit. This elf eyeshadow is one of my favorite shadow. You can see here I already with my nails, and it's broken. Still I'm using it because I like those colors so much. I don't know how many palette I have still. I like to use that. Okay. This is my palette. It's okay. If you want to use a little bit of shimmer, you can use it other color. Make it a little dark. Okay. Let me use this lipstick here a little bit. Make it a little dark. This is from Black Radiance. It's very good. But the thing is, it doesn't last long. So when I go to work or outside, I always like to have something long lasting. And thank you, Mamoon. Thank you so much. So you want me to see in that makeup look all the time? Maybe people gonna scare looking at me. Okay. No, that's fine. So this is from that Black Radiance lipstick. And I'm gonna use NYX Duck Plump. Look at the brush. Okay, give me 1 second. I have that earrings and I'm gonna wear this dress. Okay, it's okay. It's fine, I think. If you guys want, you can do it here also. Last time I did one small heart shape design. As I have here used a little bit of color, let me use it again. And on the top, if I, after that, when it's dry, maybe I can use a little bit of highlighter. So always remember, if you want to last your makeup for a long time, you don't want to stay any cakey, take 2-3 pump makeup, liquid makeup, and a little bit blend it here and use water. Or you can use ice also after you're applying. So this is the easiest way I found. Then you don't need to run to the kitchen and then again you have to have the ice, this and that. It can be some messy, can be. So a little bit, so you use it here, a little bit blend it and put in the cold water. And then when is water not gonna taking your foundation away, and with the wet sponge use it, apply on your face, and it lasts for a long time. Anyway, when the sponge is wet, it helps to stay your makeup for a longer time. Let me get this done. Last week when I had the video, I forgot to wear that hat, witch hat. So today I'm gonna wear it. Let's see. This is that. Give me 1 second. I'm coming. Just 1 second. And please write down from where you're watching my video so I can send you a hug. Okay, so dresses. So good thing of I don't need to do anything with the hair. If you guys want to do something, oh, so which can, oh, hi Mamun, thank you for watching from there. And Emily, I know you're from USA. Oh, let's see. This is the final look. So I don't have. Yes, hi Emily, I know you're from USA. Thank you for watching and thank you for recommending this red witch look, which is pretty witch. Because we are scared. I was thinking about doing green and black like last time, but you are the one. Thank you so much for that. And thank you, Mamoon, for watching from Bangladesh. Hi. And another friend who was watching from Turkey. What do you think? With this look, can I go outside? Maybe not now, maybe during Halloween time. Look at the skin. You literally, there is no filter at all. I'm just using it, using light so that you can see me clearly, that's all. But you see my skin, the way I apply makeup, I didn't use any name brand, only the foundation after the primer. I had used primer from e.l.f. and foundation from Sure I can. So foundation from CoverGirl, and then everything you see the face paint, but still you see you don't see any cakey. So that means the way I have showed you, if you, Devraj, thank you Devraj, Balarmati Devraj, okay, thank you for watching this. So now it's time to maybe clean, but I don't want to clean it right now. Let me go and scare some people outside. So thank you for watching, and hope if you want this is from Walgreens I have purchased. It's only $10, and this is the actually main main product I have used on my face. Rest, it depends, like lipstick I have used Maybelline. So I am pretty sure when I'm gonna remove my makeup, the Garnier, last time I have used this one. This one. So it erased, yeah, it erased all my makeup. And yes, go to a fancy restaurant, yes, maybe. Maybe. And this is, tonight I'm gonna use this one. So let's see. It has hyaluronic acid and it has vitamin C. So two Garnier. It's very good. All my makeup came off like this. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Whoever watching from where, hi and bye. Thank you, Emily. And I'm gonna take some pictures because that's why I have to I have to end this live. I have to take some picture and then I'm gonna wash it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.